Well, Charlie Gasparino's wondering if she used that same exact line in those speeches that she was giving to those big Wall Street banks. You think that was in there?
No. To Goldman Sachs, we should point out that I believe she made for two speeches, roughly 45 minutes apiece, something like $400,000.
Good work if you can get it.
Good work if you can get it. She came at the request from, I understand, Goldman Sachs CEO Lloyd Blankfein, who was a longtime Democrat and a big Hillary supporter going way back, even from 2008. Same with Gary Cohn, who's the #2 guy, who was actually one of the first Obama supporters on Wall Street. So, she has deep ties to Goldman Sachs. Here's the interesting thing when you break down some of the numbers, and we've been doing this on your show when I was in Philly talking to some of the people there. Goldman Sachs and the big banks themselves are kind of out of this election so far. They've given a few bucks. I think Goldman Sachs, there's one contribution to Donald Trump for like $500 is something minuscule like that. They've given about $1.3 million to Hillary. They gave a bunch of money to Jeb Bush. But so far, really, in this election, after being major players in all the other elections, they're out of it. What's striking is that the big Wall Street firms are taking a back seat so far. Right. They may kick up soon. But the big hedge funds are in there. But really, what's interesting...
Are the hedge funds in there because of the tax situation with the...
Well, I think they're in there because for some reason, there's a lot of Democrats that are hedge fund managers. Don't ask me why that is.
The ultimate limousine liberals.
Right, the ultimate limousine liberals. But I think also Donald Trump scares them on some issues, particularly trade. They think it's bad for the markets. But I will say this. There's an interesting, when you listen to that speech last night, it was interesting in a number of ways. It was hypocritical because, as you know, she took money from these Wall Street guys, and she never talked about, while she was taking that money, how they destroyed
No one's seen the transcripts of the speech.
And she won't release them. Right. It's hypocritical, but there is a roadmap there also on how she's going to run her campaign. She's going to run a class warfare campaign. She's going to go probably, maybe not Bernie Sanders-esque, but she's going to be tough on Wall Street. She's going to be to talk about taxes on the rich. She also laid out her plan of attack on Donald Trump. I think what we're going to be seeing in the next, I know what we're going to be seeing in the next month, maybe even as early as tomorrow, is story after story about his failed business ventures, how he screwed people out of money, allegedly screwed people out of contractors out of money. There was a roadmap in there. Donald, on the other hand, could get her very easily on the economy. If you listen to that speech last night, it was almost schizophrenic. Half of it said, President Obama left us a great economy. This country's great. The economy's great. The other half said, well, people are hurting real bad. You really can't have it both ways. So there's that schizophrenic.
What if she goes, though, to the Rust Belt and says to these people, listen, you've been working at these jobs if you're lucky enough to still have them. In the meantime, what's happened? The stock market's up. Your boss is making a lot more money and you're not. Elect me so I can get this money. Because she talked about making corporations share the profits. Yeah, I think that's where she tries to square this. Great economy, but you're not seeing it because the big wigs are stealing the money.
No, I get that, but that's a tightrope for her. Because
it is a tightrope.
But here's why. Because they've been stealing the money under Barack Obama's nose and under, theoretically, her nose, because she was part of the administration. I think that's where she's, really vulnerable.